Can you tell us, well, your presentation was titled Human Milk in the NICU, Dogma Meets Science. What is dogma, and what are some of the dogmas facing human milk feeding today?
Well, I think that dogma is really when somebody believes something to be absolutely true and will not necessarily accept challenges to that what they accept to be true. And unfortunately, we have had so many dogmas in neonatal intensive care that have actually persisted with us over many decades of neonatal intensive care, and they are based more on tradition rather than science. And over the last several years, I think we're beginning to have much more of a scientific approach. Things like many years ago, we weren't even feeding babies, these very preterm babies, through their gastrointestinal tract for sometimes 2 or 3 weeks. Now we found that that is absolutely the wrong thing to do, and we try to feed babies earlier on. So that is just one example of a dogma that had persisted with us for many years, where we thought that the feeding caused necrotizing enterocolitis. Now we're finding that feeding early may actually help prevent necrotizing enterocolitis.
So you covered many interesting topics and new topics today, but you spent a lot of time talking about the importance of the microbiome. How do our early practices and the environment influence the microbiome, in particular to human milk feeding?
Well, I think that a big part of this depends on where the human milk microbes are originally coming from. So if the human milk microbes are coming from the maternal gastrointestinal tract, as is thought by many, then the diet of the mother may play a big role because it alters her gastrointestinal microbes. But at the same time, if there's a human milk or a breast microbiome, changing the diet may also change the metabolic profile of the mother's gastrointestinal tract. That could eventually also change the microbial profile in her breast. Giving antibiotics, that has a huge effect on microbial composition. So if a pregnant woman takes antibiotics, if a baby is given antibiotics very early in life, if that mother who is lactating gets antibiotics, that can have a major effect on her human milk microbiome.
Another key theme of your presentation was talking about donor versus human milk.
Yes.
We have thousands of new donor milk banks opening up in the world, and there's certain countries that are really pushing it. Is donor milk really the answer, or is it mother's milk? What is the difference? What do we need? Well,
I think one of the points I try to make is that donor milk has a lot of insufficiencies. And I hope that I was able to get that point across, that there are many insufficiencies. We have this thought that it prevents necrotizing enterocolitis. If you look very closely at the studies, and especially at some of the newer studies coming out, I think we have to be very cognizant of the possibility that it may not prevent necrotizing enterocolitis. But I think when it comes to the baby's own mother's milk, the biological plausibility of that preventing necrotizing enterocolitis is much greater than donor milk or formula. So I think that we need to look at the facts, be cognizant of the facts, and then work with the facts that we have.
So with going from that, and you talked about, and you are talking about the huge benefits of mother's own milk, what do we need to do to get mother's own milk in safely to these babies? You talked about some new research that you might be doing, looking at raw milk.
Well, I think this is one of the possibilities, the refaunation. So some mothers are not able to produce very much milk, much of their own milk, and donor milk can be readily available if you have a milk bank available. So providing small amounts, even if it's 5 milliliters, and putting it into donor milk, it opens the possibility of refaunation and making that donor milk personalized for that particular baby, at least with the microbes, with some of the cells that are present in the mother's milk, with some of the enzymes that are present in the mother's milk. So that is still very early in terms of the research that we are doing, and I think others are very interested in doing similar research. So, perhaps in the next couple of years, this may be a reasonable pathway, but the science has yet to be done.
Thank you very much. We look forward to the future science then.
Thank you.